Welcome, everybody, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Millen, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton. It's a full house!
Bernstein's are back.
Whatever happened to I'm sorry. The milkman, the paper boy.
Even the TV. You know, Fuller House Season 3 apparently just premiered
It just
on Netflix.
dropped, yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know Season 2 was already done. Like,
Oh, yeah, no, I watched it. That shit was good.
They're like,
Get outta
pumping this show
here.
out.
When you say good, what do you actually
Good
mean?
for Full House.
All right, fair enough.
Nostalgia good. Like, it's not actually good. It's nostalgia. It gives you the
could not
nostalgia
get through the
feels.
first season, like, at all.
Doesn't matter, because all of us are back. Woo! And we're the three best friends that anyone could have.
Oh, God.
And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other, except for next week. I can't record next week, by the way.
That was good while it lasted. All right, so listen, we got a couple bits of follow-up, and then we can go ahead and dive into the actual nerdy world and what's going on. And I want to start with some clarification, a little bit of discussion. So John Hawn commented on episode 112, where we talked about the signs of a bad movie without even seeing it. And the one thing that we talked about a lot was a sub 90-minute runtime. Now, that was not the only criteria, right? It's a collection of embargoed reviews, less than 90 minutes, production rumors, the poster and the quotes.
Yeah, there was like 5 things.
And then the
Directors changing.
Yeah,
anything
that all... Listen, there are exceptions to the rule. He listed a whole bunch of movies, and John Hawn, is that his name, John Hawn?
Yeah, it's John Hawn.
Sounds like a fucking space pirate.
Hey, it's a good
John Hawn. Your list, 90% of it was crap. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay, so listen, he said, because John and his wife Gwyneth,
starting with The Nightmare Before Christmas, which he cited as his case study.
oh, don't say
No,
that.
no,
There are
it's
so
terrible,
many people who
terrible.
love that movie.
So hold on, wait. So let's set the stage for those who haven't seen it. John and his wife Gwyneth,
John
they left
Hawn
the
and his
comment-
space pirate wife Gwyneth
left the comment.
were going to go pillage, and they were listening to some Takan episodes from 2 months back, and decided to call us out.
No, so first off,
Why is all the rum gone, CJ?
starts with saying that he loves the show. So let's just start off with the fact that it's a positive. And then
it is. And we love you too, John Hawn.
he was bringing up the 90-minute runtime on movies, and he says, "What do the following movies have in common? Airplane, good movie, right? We can all agree.
Surely it is.
It's yes, surely. Stop calling me that. But it's not
but-
like it's not a good movie. It's funny.
Okay, Nightmare Before Christmas, which
Awful. God awful.
No,
I like
hang on. Before you start going through the list and everything, I need to make sure this is known. The 90-minute rule, I believe, does not apply to animated movies, which includes
No.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
Or
includes
family,
Toy
or
Story.
family
Simpsons.
G-rated.
Animated
no.
movies, for the most part, need to be short, either 90 minutes or sub 90 minutes, because they are geared towards children whose attention spans are shit. And all they're thinking out while watching that movie is, when do I get to play on that sick-ass jungle gym?
no,
So,
stop making that a thing.
It doesn't apply to animated movies. And like 5 or 6 of them on his list of like 10 were animated. So let's just remove those.
Okay, all right,
With
all
the
right.
exception of the Simpsons movie, which is an adult animated movie, and the Simpsons movie Blue.
Yeah, the
did.
one that I took, the one that I said proves the rule is Borat.
Borat is garbage.
That's a 90-minute movie.
real garbage. Yeah.
Josh, we looked at Stand By Me and said, you know what, that movie's so old though. Like,
It's
movie
but it's.
runtimes-
I mean, it is one of my all-time favorites. So
Here's
good.
the other caveat. You have to here's the other caveat. You have to remember movies in like the 70s and early 80s, like Airplane, like Stand By Me. 90 minutes was your average running time for a movie. You didn't see movies that were 2.5 hours long
Yeah.
back
What
then.
was Stand By Me was 87.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Something like that.
All right.
So listen, here comes his whole list, and I'll put the comment in our show notes so you can actually look at the list of movies. 90 minutes is just one part of the criteria.
Yeah.
We look at the other aspects of it, and that can kind of be a dead giveaway. Hence, I mean, you look at the Hitman's Bodyguard, and you're talking about posters that have comments of anything but the movie, and interviews are anything but the film. And in my opinion, that's a bad movie.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought it was a bad movie. And embargoed reviews have become
And
a
what
good
CJ
thing.
says is law, so there you go.
No, I'm just saying. For me, it should have been a giveaway. Same thing with
I'm
embargoed
in a
reviews.
rare mood, guys. I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. I've been bottling up all this shit. It's been a long week. You get to enjoy all of it.
So listen, it comes down to this. Here's the most important part of his message. He says that we love you guys, keep up the great work, and they look forward to the podcast every week, especially Brian's theme songs and cast. This.
Does he say especially? Does he say that?
I had a bubble in my throat. I'm sorry.
Especially, that's
he throws an X into a word.
It's the new X-Men series from Fox that no one will care about.
Gifted, especially.
You know what? I was gonna go back and post and change it, but now I just have to take the lumps.
Right.
So anyway, Brian, you got your shout out. John and Gwyneth, thank you so much for listening to the show. We know that you gave us the feedback based on love. Just remember, it's only one part.
I get shout outs constantly. Do you not pay attention to our Facebook page? I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, I have an ego or anything, but I mean, people love the theme songs. Just,
oh my God. He's extra Brian tonight. Good.
Our next bit of follow-up is some news coming out of HBO that they are moving forward with a pilot for the Watchmen series that we talked about a few weeks ago, and we cast.
We did cast this.
It was one of our first cast. This
was back before we were keeping score.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're moving forward with this?
Yeah, Damon Lindelof and HBO both confirmed it.
Yes. I don't. I haven't received a call, so I'm not sure that this is actually happening.
Has Aaron Paul received the call? That's the other guy I want to know if they've.
I did not cast Aaron Paul, nor did Brian.
Neither of us cast Aaron Paul.
No.
I think maybe you should go on one of John Hahn's Space Pirate adventures and listen to some old That Kind of Nerd episodes so you can remember who we cast.
John Hawn, Space Pirate.
I just imagined his name in like lasers, like old Flash Gordon 80s style.
So this is really cool. We know that something that we thought was, it was probably going to happen. We now have confirmation that it is. Again, if you wanted to be on any network, HBO is a great place for it to get picked up. It's the right place for it to be at. This is good news because it was being shopped around. So could you imagine if it fell to another network, maybe couldn't get the liberties that HBO would give it and the money that HBO can give it. So that's
like
perfect.
ABC.
At least all the monies.
We'll look at ABC in a minute. All right, so now
we're going to get there. It's coming.
Right, so let's start the show off with talking about the world of TV and movies because we got some good news out of there. A lot of female lead movies that we got some information on, and I want to start with the trailer for Tomb Raider.
Yes.
And I'd like to spend 1 minute on the poster of Tomb Raider, if I may, because my continuity brain blew up when I saw this poster. And you can definitely check it out in the show notes of this of Lara Croft's neck apparently being like as tall as a giraffe's, like being all stretchy out, looked all kinds of wrong. Whoever did that poster, shame on you. It's an awful poster. But let's talk about the trailer.
Alicia Vikander is very European, so maybe she has a long neck.
No, it's a fake neck. They photoshopped that neck. It looks like a giraffe.
You're a fake neck.
I wish it was a fake
You're
neck.
a giraffe.
I am a giraffe. All right, so let's talk about the teaser trailer itself. I liked it. I did. It kind of reminded.
Did you, CJ? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did enjoy it.
What was the first fucking comment you said to me when I sent it to you?
That is not the way that you shoot a bow and arrow. She's not holding the strings correctly.
CJ, and I'm going to ruin every freaking movie ever.
It's not me. It's not me ruining it. That's incorrect.
You absolutely ruining movies.
It's
Who
like
the hell
her primary
cares?
weapon in that
cares.
whole
no
trailer.
One cares. CJ.
Some would say her primary weapon is her intellect.
Yes, exactly.
Some would say that. Others would say bow and arrow.
I put it on. I put the trailer on, and Laura went, "Really? We need another one of them?" And I'm like, "Yes,
we do.
First off, we do need another one.
I agree, we do. Plus, she won an Oscar for like Best Supporting Actress.
And what's cool about this movie is that Square Enix rebooted the Tomb Raider series not too long ago in this very. It wasn't like the original series or like the original movies with Angelina Jolie, where she's already like an accomplished Indiana Jones type like person who's been raiding tombs for years. Like
this is the beginning. This is
the beginning.
Genesis.
This is like one of her first, and she's kind of learning the ropes, and she's still, she's really in survival mode, which I think is going to be really cool. But I gotta tell you, I watched this trailer, and not only was I excited by the fact that, oh my gosh, this looks really fun and interesting, and it's going to be a great ride. But I saw Walter Goggins, and I'm like, oh, Josh is going to love this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you cannot beat Walton Goggins. You cannot beat that dude.
He's good. He's good in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah, again, I think this is a great direction to go with the trailer. It doesn't feel like a we're just gonna copy paste Batman Begins and put Lara Croft in it, and we're also not gonna hear any U2 in this movie, and that's the way it should be.
Why those comments? Why? Why?
Because I don't need U2 ever.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
don't
get, I
need you-
get that, but where did that come from?
the previous,
Ireland. Mainly Ireland.
Yeah, the previous movie had U2 in it. It was very prominent within that movie.
Oh, you mean Cradle of Life?
Whatever the first Tomb Raider movie was called.
The first Tomb Raider movie was just called Tomb Raider. The
Lara
second
Croft,
Tomb Raider
Tomb
movie
Raider,
was
the
called
second
Lara
Cradle
Croft, Tomb
Cradle
Raider.
of Life.
Ton of U2. The next movie after
It's been a
that,
while since I've seen it.
U2.
No, you too, sir.
The other bit of movie news that we got was we got a new trailer for a movie with Jennifer Lawrence called Red Sparrow. And the comparison that some people are saying is like, oh, it's like a Black Widow origin movie. And I say, no, but this looks awesome.
Well, the concept is definitely a Black Widow-esque origin.
Yeah, people are just like, this is the Black Widow movie we deserve. I'm like, no. I know that's what you want it to be.
Oh, no, definitely not. But I mean, the concept of young girls being like trained and brainwashed from birth to be like assassins, that's absolutely a Black Widow.
Yes.
To a T.
Right. But there's more to Black Widow than just that.
I don't think Jennifer Lawrence has done like a full-fledged action film before.
I don't think so either. No, you put the young adult.
And I'm not saying that in
a
I'm not saying that in a bad sense. I'm saying that I'm interested to see what this movie turns out to be and what she can do. Like, I think she's a great actress. So I think I'm excited. I mean, it's apparently based on a book, right? I've never read the book.
I believe so, yes.
But it seems interesting. Go ahead with your opinions. I'm sorry if I talked over you.
I love this genre. I absolutely love femme fatale type movies. I mean, Salt, Lucy, Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
I mean, anything with Mila Jovovich in it at all. Just give me all of the femme fatale genre. What was it? Ultraviolet? That it was what I was.
Josh,
okay.
please, no.
Yeah. And
no,
look,
that movie's bad.
No. I don't care.
She's great in it, but that movie's bad.
She's great in it. The movie doesn't have to be good. She's great. I like the genre.
Right.
Not all kung fu movies are great, but I like the genre.
Okay, all right.
I get it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Brian, I like your point too. We haven't ever seen Jennifer Lawrence in a role like this, but you definitely know that she's done things in the vicinity, so you know that she can carry that.
She's got more range than anybody else her age in the game.
No, it's perfect casting. I don't think I would want anybody else in there. So it looks fantastic. We're obviously going to learn more about it as we get closer. It doesn't premiere until March 2nd, so it's quite a bit out. So
What's
we're going
crazy is that I don't feel like she has in any way peaked. Like, I'm not even sure she's gotten started yet.
Yeah, no, even looking at some of the reviews and the information people are saying from Mother and a couple of her other upcoming projects,
the reviews are bad for Mother.
But she's getting praise. Okay, so that's all the discussion we have for movies and TV, but now it is time to transition into the world of comic books, how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but most of all, how it's affecting Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk!
And look, we got the song again. I missed the song. It's nice to have you back, Brian, so we can do the song. Okay, so last week... God, what a quick reversal I have to do on this. So last week, I was talking about Inhumans and how it had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, then it has a 7, and I was like, hey, don't make up your mind based off those critics.
Give it a chance!
Give it a chance! Well, apparently ABC was like, yeah, don't, because allegedly, right now, in some of the promotional material that's coming out for it, it's being referred to as Inhumans, the complete series. And it's suggesting that it's already canceled.
I don't have to do any sort of reversal. I'm still going to say give it a chance.
I got to tell you, I think I pretty much called this one.
Yeah, you did, but I'm still sticking to my guns. Because if it gets the ratings, they'll bring it back real quick. I mean, it's not the first time that a show has been rumored to be canceled that we brought back. I mean, i.e. Chuck and a ton of other stuff. So, I mean...
This ain't going to be Chuck, bro.
I know it's not going to be... Nothing's ever going to be Chuck to me. No. It's like my favorite show.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it could still do well to the point where they might bring it back. Who knows? I'm interested. I'm going to give it a shot.
So there is a glimmer of hope for people who do want to give it a chance. ABC put out a statement after this was released saying, please be advised on background that this is the same promotional verbiage we've been using throughout our campaign, and this is not a new poster, the one that says the complete series. So, they're trying to kind of saying, hey, don't read too far into it. But I really think that's coverage for if fans like it and it gets good ratings, they'll be like, yeah, see, we never were going to cancel it, you silly fans. But if it does end up getting canceled, they're just like, hey, we told you we've been using this throughout, so can't get too mad.
Yeah,
at
this
us.
was once and done. This was once and done. This was planned from the beginning.
They're giving themselves an out no matter which direction it goes in. But listen, I am willing to give Inhumans a chance. The question is that enough? Will enough people buy a Subway sandwich to save this show? I don't think so.
Nope.
Maybe if Subway gets involved, they've saved a couple shows before.
Not a delicious foot-long meatball smothered in provolone and mozzarella cheeses.
Can you imagine Black Bolt sitting up in a Tillion eating a meatball hero?
I don't know, not him, but like Jeff and Lester behind him eating.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Eating
it would actually be him.
He wants to talk about like he lets out that like, oh, it's so good moan, and he destroys half the city.
No, eating the Wednesday surf and turf, half meatball, half tuna. No, it's not that. I mean, you get one of each and you split it, guys. Calm down.
Oh man.
All right, that was the Chuck and Morgan Wednesday surf and turf.
I get it.
Totally. We know.
I hear you.
So disinterested in this that I've just totally pivoted.
I can tell.
I don't even
All
care.
right, now we're going to transition to a topic that I know. No, I know this fills Brian with rage, and I want to let him vent. And
don't do that. I'm in a really good mood.
I have one question, Brian. What the hell is going on with Gotham? Why is Bruce Wayne wearing a mask, being a vigilante, but he's not back? What the hell is going on with Gotham?
Is Gotham still on television?
Yeah, they're going into season 4.
Why?
Brian, that's why I'm asking Brian. What is going on with Gotham, and why am I seeing Bruce Wayne wearing a mask?
I was in such a good mood, CJ.
I just you have to let the fans know.
I was
why
in
is
such
this
a good mood,
problem?
and I brought this. You brought this up. I don't know if I can put my thoughts together on what a shit show this show is. I might need a little help.
CJ!
Oh God, no!
I have seen this Gotham that you speak of.
Yep.
This is not the Gotham that I was going to save. People of facts, do you want this man-child being your Batman?
Man-child.
He looks ridiculous, CJ. This is not the way the story goes.
Yeah, his mask looks worse than yours.
I will break him for being an imposter, not a bat.
I'm surprised Bane hasn't shown up in Gotham, to be honest. They're just going to
He
butcher
probably
everything.
has. I haven't watched this show.
Okay,
since
so can you
season
give us some
1.
context, please? Because I'm saying Bruce Wayne's wearing a mask. What is this? What is their justification?
The indication is that he's going to start training to be Batman, I guess. I don't know. I haven't watched this show since season 1. You know why I haven't watched this show since season 1? Because it's garbage.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Really bad.
And it's not even like, oh, I'm like a true believer and that's why it's garbage. And this isn't, the way things are going to go. It's just a bad show.
Season 1 had like Tandy Newton in it, right? And,
yeah, Tandy, no. Jada Pinkett Smith.
It was Jada Pinkett Smith.
Fish
Thank
Mooney,
you. Okay.
One of the most annoying characters that they created just for that show.
They also confirmed she's never coming back, which is great.
I don't care if this show could never come back.
That's what I was kind of hoping for.
So much happier with life in general. Like this actually makes life worse for me, and it's just this show doesn't have it thinks it knows what it is, and it's going to be like, oh, we're going to be like kind of over the top and campy, but it's not.
It's not at all campy.
It's not at all campy, but that's what and all the villains that they're introducing,
there's a big difference between like campy and hokey.
Oh yeah, and this is hokey.
This is hokey as shit.
And it's like Tumblr fan service, right? Where they're not even going after normal everyday people. It's just the tweens that go on Tumblr and like to make gifs out of shit that happens on bad television shows. So
we're devoted to a specific subreddit with 120 followers.
That's exactly
pretty
it.
much.
That is our audience.
This show doesn't even make sense in its own timeline.
It's happening. There's going to be a 4th season of Gotham. They're putting a mask on Bruce Wayne. It makes no sense.
The whole concept is that Batman is like there and like because of his presence, he creates the villains. He creates the chaos. He's the one who escalates it. The whole point was that Gotham didn't have this supervillain problem until Batman came around. It was primarily mobsters and gangsters and drug dealers that were bringing this down. And
who's the creator of this show?
somebody who hates me.
Well, I reject the premise and award him no points, and may God have mercy on his soul.
Amen
The
to
creator
that.
of this show has a personal vendetta against me. I swear to God.
or
Okay.
Batman.
Well, how
Maybe
about this?
against
Let
Batman.
me give you happy news then. Some good comic book news, and then we can
Get
feel
me
better.
back on cloud 9, CJ.
Okay, are you ready? I want to set the stage. It's 1982. All right, so let me set the stage for you. It is February of 1982, and ABC is doing a 2-night broadcast of Superman the movie. However, it is an extended edition. It is 3 hours long. It has more footage that's never been seen before. You get a look at Krypton before its destruction. You get more time in Smallville, and you get more of the score, and of course more Superman, which is what everybody wants to see happen. And now, even though it hasn't been seen in 35 years, it is going to be released on Blu-ray. So this is awesome. More of the original Superman movie. Yes, I'm all on board. What do you guys think?
Is it going to be on iTunes? iTunes?
You asshole. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm very interested, but I don't have a DVD player, so.
I am basking in the glow of the yellow sun, and I feel reinvigorated.
Earth's yellow sun has reinvigorated you.
It's I'm really obviously I'm really interested. The first Superman is a classic. You can't beat it, and
Absolutely.
I'm excited at the prospect of a 3-hour version of it. I'm stoked. Where can I has now? Can it be on my shelf right now?
Cannot be noused. No.
Why not? Why not? When CJ?
No release date has been confirmed, other than it's coming this year.
Okay.
So we got 4 months.
This will
3
be
months.
holidays. This will be holidays.
This is stocking stuffer material right here.
Yep. Everybody wants one.
Fans of that kind of nerd, perhaps John Hawn, Space Pirate. John Hawn, Space Pirate, if you truly are a fan of the Brian theme songs and everything, I petition you to put this in my stocking this year.
Nay, I command.
I command you. No, he's the captain.
You can't command a pirate. That never
He's the
works.
captain of the space pirate ship.
Okay, ready, Brian, for the final bit of Cape Talk news that will definitely make you excited? Maybe even squee a little bit? Okay, and the most exciting news coming out of the world of Cape Talk is Netflix has released a trailer, a full, proper trailer for The Punisher. That sound right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we all did multiple times when watching this. Okay, that was just inappropriate.
Fully tumescent.
This looks
Just-
amazing. I feel like this is the most dark and most gritty thing I've seen when it comes to
Ever.
to any story. It looks incredible. And why aren't we watching it right now? Why Netflix? Why are
It's
you
going to
making
be,
me wait?
well, look, it's going to be 2017. You saw that at the end.
They're keeping their exact date all hush.
They
hush.
are. It was real cryptic, but 2017 was clear.
I'll tell you. I'll be surprised. Like, I would not be surprised 1 minute if they advertised Fuller House season 3 coming on Netflix today, and they just dropped the Punisher instead. Be like,
Well,
"Ha
So what I've read is we saw Jessica Jones sort of right before Thanksgiving, the Friday before Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
and that if Netflix holds true, that we'll probably see this at the same sort of time. Because when you think about it,
That's definitely
that's when-
something to be thankful for.
that's when people have off work, so they'll watch,
They can
right?
binge it, right?
More importantly, this was the most gruesome and violent and bloody and tactical thing I've seen. Like, I mean, I can't remember the last movie I watched that was this gruesome. It was awesome. And while I am not a Metallica fan, and Justice for All was the last album that I truly loved, and the use of one in this trailer was perfect to the degree that they timed the machine gun fire
Yep.
Yes.
with the guitar riff that you're so used to, and it was perfect. It was eerie, and that, like, you know he's nuts, right? And he's you see him playing the guitar. He's playing one on the guitar with his daughter, and then it's sort of playing as he's assuming you're assuming he's in like a padded cell there, and then his wife comes in to say good morning, and 2 seconds later,
Shot in the head.
she gone. And I went, oh my God. Like this is gonna be some serious shit. And
They're not holding back at all for this series.
John Bernthal is perfect.
Yes.
He's perfect.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. It's good to see they're like, hey guys, yeah, you know how you like the Punisher in Daredevil? Yes, we did. Okay, great, because we're doing it right. Buckle your fucking seatbelts and get ready.
But I think that's what
should be happening.
No, I know, but we've talked about this, right? These guys are anchors, and sort of also a really good dichotomy of good and evil there, where Matt Murdock is sort of very good and Frank Castle is sort of not in like just very indifferent and apathetic in the way that he just doesn't give a shit. So this is what we need to see. The rest of the characters will fall in the middle, and this will, I think it ties them together. Brian?
Everything that you said is 1,000% correct. And squee. I'm so excited for this trailer. I am so excited. I sent it to everybody I knew with echo effects and laser cannons and everything that I could possibly think of. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even the biggest Punisher fan as a comic book, but this looks awesome.
And Brian Roman doesn't have to eat a Punisher book, so that's always nice to know that he is going to have a paper-free
I still
diet.
would like to see that. So what do I have to do, Brian, to make you eat a Punisher book?
No, it was if this sucks. He said, if this sucks, I'm going to eat a Punisher book.
Can we possibly go on John Hahn's space pirate ship and coerce you into eating an issue of Punisher? I'll give it not even a good issue. I'll take like a freaking Castle issue, one of the shitty issues. I'd like to see that, and I'll give you whatever condiments you need, whatever will help you muscle it down, some chocolate milk perhaps. But I'd like to see that still.
What story? I mean, what story do we think we're just if I can go off on a tangent since this is Cape Talk, Brian? Do we think we're getting the Punisher Volume 1? Are we getting Warzone? Are we getting what are we getting?
That is a very good question. I think it's going to be a mixture of all of them, but if they're thinking they're along the right path, they're probably going to do one of the Max series. I want to say Garth Ennis mixed in with some of the War Journal stuff, because the War Journal stuff is where he met like microchip and things like that too.
Indeed. So I was a Punisher. I was a Punisher book reader. I was a War Journal reader. Those and Warzone were all Garth Ennis, and I absolutely love this story. I am not. It doesn't. None of this needs to be canon. I think that the stories are so varied that as long as he is killing bad guys indiscriminately and in a violent way, I'm going to be happy.
I need just one scene. I don't even think it's from the Max series. It might be. I just need one scene from the comic book to be directly related to this series. I think it would be awesome, because there is this scene where their giant mob families are having this funeral. There's a brief, armistice between, the warring gangsters for this funeral for this person, and they all gather there, and they're at the wake, and Frank Castle is in the casket and just mows them all down. And I want to see that so bad.
That's the Gray's Funeral Home.
Yes. I want to see that in the worst way.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we obviously don't know when it's coming out. It's 2017 sometime, so hopefully cross our fingers really soon. Probably going to be around Thanksgiving, so you'll have a lot to be thankful for. So excited for this. Keep it up, Netflix. Keep it up. All right, as you all know, I love to scour the internet, find the weird, find the obscure, and ask these gentlemen for their tech perspective. Hey guys, remember when we talked about YouTube Red? I said YouTube Red, not the other thing.
What other thing?
RedTube?
No.
RedTube.
No, not RedTube.
I saw something on YouTube Red. There was a whole lot of hope in it.
Yep. Whole lot of hope.
And I felt better and more complete as a human.
What was the promise of YouTube Red, right? It was the $10.
No ads.
No ads, right? That's how it was advertised to everybody. No ads. Well, Google is serving ads on YouTube Red, even though it promised not to because they're using a technicality to screw you, the user who pays $10 a month.
Where's the loophole?
The loophole is that their way that they listed no ads was especially pre-roll, right? No video ads before you do it. No banners that popped up on the video. And they're saying things that would stop you from viewing the content. So what they've now done is they put ads below the video when it's on mobile. They put a huge, gigantic banner ad when you log into YouTube. And they've scattered print ads all over the place on iOS, on Android, on the web.
What if it's full screen?
On full screen on like your computer?
Yeah.
Yes. Go check out the picture in the show notes.
Listen, I think we called this from the moment the whisperings of YouTube Red were amongst the masses, and we said this is not a great idea. They're not going to get the ad revenue they're not going to get the revenue that they want. That's what's happening. Nobody's signing up for this shit, so they're not getting the revenue, and now they're forced to do ads because we spent all this money on this paid subscription service and exclusive content for it. We need to pay for it somehow.
Right.
Also, can I just vent just a little bit about the stupidest thing I've ever seen? Because when I logged into YouTube, they're like, hey, would you like to listen to a YouTube music playlist and still put your phone to sleep? Sign up for YouTube Red. What the hell? Why should I have to pay $10 a month for something that is so simple that should have been done from the start? That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Wait, what do they mean by listen and still put your phone to sleep?
So on iOS, when you're watching a YouTube video, and if you lock the screen, it stops the content from playing.
But because you can't watch a video if your screen isn't on.
But the idea is that like there's plenty of people who just put music playlists on there and use that kind of as
but
their playlist.
I have Apple Music.
I know
for that.
you have Apple Music, but the 13-year-old down the street does not have Apple Music, and god damn it, he wants to put his phone to sleep.
Then his parents have made bad life decisions.
Listen, we are not here to judge every
Here's
parent.
the thing, Brian, that I guess also you're going to is that should have just been a default feature to make YouTube better.
Should have been, yeah.
Shouldn't be behind a paywall. I see what you're saying.
Just give it to me. Just give it to me.
There's a loophole around that, but I don't want to explain it to you. So
I don't care about the loophole. It's dumb. It's just RedTube trying to get more money. I'm sorry, YouTube Red trying to get more money. Listen,
RedTube has all the money they can handle.
RedTube has way too much money. There's a whole lot of hope and money in RedTube, but YouTube is devoid of hope.
So, Josh, you brought up this topic you brought it to my attention. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. And I wanted to kind of see what the heck is going on. So there is a smart lock maker called August. They're probably one of the most popular smart lock manufacturers. They are partnering with Walmart to allow a one-time access for a delivery driver to drop off groceries into your home. Am I reading this correctly? Like, what's going on?
Well, you're reading it correctly, but describing it a little inaccurately. So Walmart will begin testing a service that will allow customers with August smart home devices, including the front door lock and the doorbell, security cameras, that kind of stuff. They're partnering with a company that Sam's Club has been using called Deliv, Deliv. That driver will be given a one-time access code for your home for that delivery only.
Right.
So they punch in the 12345 that CJ has as it's his code all the time, but that's the one they issue.
That's a combination of my luggage too.
Right. I figured that much. And they drop off your groceries or your Walmart.com order or whatever. Here's the big deal, right? It's the race for market share, and Amazon has sort of the cornerstone on e-commerce. But what people don't realize is that Walmart has the market positively wrapped up when it comes to logistics. They have the most sophisticated, efficient logistics in the industry. That's the reason they own retail, that and their ability to choke margins out of vendors, right? When you combine that with strategic partnerships like this one, the acquisition in 2016 of Jet.com to grow their e-commerce business, they're getting more and more. This is to deliver groceries primarily.
Right.
And this is the crazy part to me is the person you're giving access to your house is also going to put your stuff, your groceries away, fridge, freezer, things like that. I got to tell you, I got a problem with my wife loading the dishwasher.
I was gonna say they're gonna put milk on the door and like
She doesn't.
milk on the door.
No, my milk goes on the door.
put milk
That's
on the
where
door.
milk goes.
No.
There's a whole shelf for your milk.
Milk doesn't
That's
go
where
on the
it goes.
door.
Right? Because if you put it on the top shelf, it gets too cold and gross. Milk shouldn't be that cold, right? It should not be. But I don't like when my wife loads the dishwasher because she does it wrong. I'm not going to let somebody put something in my fridge. So that's me. However, for someone who is footloose and fancy free and doesn't mind anarchy in their fridge or freezer, this is a really cool option. Also, if you're like far too busy to be bothered with going to the grocery store and whatnot, this is a really cool thing. And it's the first of its kind that I can think of. Brian, you have a palatial estate. Would you permit?
Nope.
You wouldn't permit one-time access to some rando?
Nope.
No rando coming into your house?
Nope.
Is that? Oh, that's your doorbell. What if the rando promised to put a cat in the freezer?
Wouldn't that mess up the ratio?
No, everything about this is wrong. Strangers are not allowed in my house unless I invite them in. That's how vampires happen. No.
Vampires happen.
No. Absolutely not.
I guess you're right. If a vampire was issued a one-time passcode, that would be enough for him to.
That would be an invitation into my home. And I will not allow vampires in my palatial estate.
This doesn't pass tech perspective, CJ, because vampires.
Absolutely.
The tech perspective is, this is bad news for all those vampires out there.
Well, no, not bad news for vampires. It's bad news for the general public because vampires.
Exactly.
All right.
Because if you give them one-time access, they have access all the time.
Brian's on the FAQ of the website going, oh shit, what's the vampire rule? Does this allow? No, I'm sorry. What if you know what, Brian? You should get them to deliver garlic. That way they won't take your order.
They're not delivering shit. I'm not listen, if I want a delivery of some kind, whether it be my amazing loot crate, the Dunkaroos I ordered off of Amazon, or my general groceries, I will be the one there to receive said package, and I will put it away myself.
It's like Walmart, did you get the checkout? What would you like this delivered? And I respond with a gif of Colin Farrell from Fright Night. Nope. All set over here, guy. But thanks for the offer.
I mean, come on. I'm all on board for grocery delivery. I think that's awesome, and I should do it more. But I don't want a stranger in my house, especially if I'm not there. No way. Once they're in there, they're in there. They can take whatever the hell they want, and I don't trust the general populace with my foldy mate and, my general palatialness.
I agree, but the area of the country where they're starting this test is far more metropolitan than your sort of southern Spain palatial estate.
Doesn't matter. I don't trust people, period.
Right.
Secondly, I don't trust people to organize my groceries or my refrigerator the way that I have it or want it organized.
That's my problem.
I have a system.
You
It's
don't
very
get to touch,
Tetris-like.
yeah.
It's not happening.
All right, my final bit of tech perspective came out with the news that the new iOS 11 on iPhones was just released, allowing developers to finally put out their AR kit applications. There is a list here of the best AR kits you should try, and I put a few of them on my phone. Josh, I believe you put a few on yours. There's really two that I really liked. One was called World Brush. And this was neat because you load up your camera, scan the room, and then you can start drawing over people's heads. You can put stuff on a wall, and then as you move around the room, the objects stay where they're supposed to be. And it kind of lets you create a nice immersive painting world. I thought it was pretty interesting. Which one did you use?
My favorite feature about it was you can toggle this touch feature where you hold the screen and move your device in, all the crazy whimsical motions you could think of, and that stays in the room. That was the cool thing.
What I did at work was I stood right in the middle of my aisle with some desks in line, and I drew the names of everybody above their desk.
Oh, that's cool.
And then had one of the coworkers, hey, come here, just stand here for a moment and just look around. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So it was a nice way to kind of show people this is augmented reality. It's pretty interesting.
So like Measure Kit was the one that I thought was the coolest, because you have in augmented reality, you have a ruler, a trajectory tool, a marker pin. So you can measure a straight line on a surface. You can measure by drawing in space the trajectory, a marker pin, distances to fix points, angles, someone's height.
I like that one. Someone's height was actually a lot of fun to do at the office.
It's very, very, very cool. And those two, I do like the Housecraft.
Yes, that's my next one. So Housecraft, since we've been talking about this, has been the use case I have been preaching of putting.
The thing I like is that I'm dropping like office chairs in between other pieces of furniture, and it's like bouncing off of them.
Yeah, it interacts with the environment.
Cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And I do like the fact that, for me again, and IKEA is going to be launching their application shortly of, I want to maybe buy some furniture. I want to know what's going to look like in the room, in the house. Drop it in there, and it stays. So, if I walk far away, I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like. If I get closer, you can see some detail, but you can also kind of put it in perspective. I was looking at a desk chair, and I removed my crappy desk chair I have now, and I put it in front of my desk. And was like, oh, that's actually too high. That would be bad. And another one was like, that's great, but it's.
Did you not put an adjustable desk chair in your office?
No, like it was like too big. Like it was too much chair. You know what I mean? Like it was too high on the back. So I mean,
I don't like the fact that people can find out my height.
This would be solid for Brian because he doesn't have a desk or a chair.
Oh, this is indeed true. I am actually recording from a floaty state right now. I don't like the fact that people can find out my height through their phone. Then people will know I'm not actually 6 foot, but 5'11".
Listen, I find that every time I leave a convenience store, depending on which store it is, I'm either 6 foot or I'm either 5'11". So I like to be my 6 foot tall. But this was cool, right? This is obviously the beginning of just some AR kit applications. We talked about how there's some to make movies, some to play zombie games. I really recommend you go ahead and take a look at this list and just kind of see what this is going to become, because I think it's going to be extremely interesting, especially even as concepts like this even get over to Android. So AR is a pretty awesome thing. It's got some pretty cool use cases, and it's pretty early days. So good time to get on board.
I agree. This was for iOS 11 just launching, and these apps just launching. These were far more functional than I expected. It was pretty cool.
It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for the nerd degree. The nerd degree is where that kind of nerd gives a topic, a product, a movie, whatever, the third degree, and we decide if it passes or fails. And we are looking today at this is crazy. It is a glass speaker that will automatically display the lyrics to a large collection of songs that you are currently playing on the speaker. Josh, you sent this to me. It looks really interesting.
I sent it to you.
Brian sent it.
Brian, you sent it to me. It is really interesting. I'm very curious to see how you stumbled across this and what you think about it.
I stumbled across it because I was searching the interwebs for perhaps a podcast that I do every week. And my first thought was, oh, that's really cool. Bet you it doesn't have like anything, or it doesn't work with anything. I thought it was going to be
songs.
Huh?
2 million songs.
Yeah, but that's what I thought at first. I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is only capable through this player, or you can't do it with Apple Music. But it works with everything, and it pulls from a library of like a million songs. Why are you chuckling?
Because you're talking about all the things it does,
and
it's $4,500.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. I'm burying the lead, Josh. I am burying the lead because I want you people, the great people who listen to That Kind of Nerd, perhaps to contemplate putting this on your space pirate ship. But I was reading the article.
This is space pirate pricing.
This is
what
space
we're talking
pirate
about.
pricing. You're going to have John Hawn, space pirate. You're going to have to do a lot of pillaging to be able to afford this speaker. It's $4,500.
It's called the Kododama, right? So it relies on Wi-Fi connectivity. It works on Apple Music, Spotify, or iTunes. It's got a large collection of songs, and then the reason why it's $4,500 is only 15 units are made every month. It's handcrafted, all right, so it's artisanal, and it's coming right from Japan. Like, it's shipping from Japan. It just got to the U.S. But at $4,500, that's crazy. So my question is...
It is quite a steep price.
So my
but
question is, are you hoping for this to become a concept that goes to more...
Yes.
Speakers?
Lyrics, absolutely. I think everyone should know the lyrics. You know how many people sing the wrong lyrics to songs? It's maddening.
All the time.
Yeah, like there's a bathroom on the right. Instead of there's a bad moon on the rise. Did nobody didn't think that when they were kids? Am I the only one?
You're the only one.
Yeah, I think you're the
Oh,
only
I always
one.
thought there was a bathroom on the right. And, I was happy for them to point it out to me because usually we were on a long road trip and I needed to pee.
Listen, there's only one Bare Naked Lady song you should listen to, and the only words people know for about it, chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. That's all anybody knows.
First and foremost, that is not the Bare Naked Lady song you should be listening to. It's This Old Apartment, which is amazing, and the Chinese chicken song is awful.
But no one knows
Chinese
the
chicken
lyrics.
song is called 1 Week.
Okay.
And I actually know the lyrics.
Or Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh, yes. Marilyn Monroe.
Stuff, history
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff and stuff. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing though. Here's my problem. The way it works now, it has a speaker on the top left and a speaker on the bottom right, and most of the lyrics are covered up by the speaker. Now, the other really cool thing about this is that it's also supposed to generate different graphics based on the mood of the song. It's got some software in there to analyze the mood, so it gives you different presentations of the graphic. So if it's a fast-paced action, rock song, it's doing quick, fast lyrics. If it's a little slower, if it's more of a jam, you kind of get a little more subtle approach
If
to
it's
it.
sexy time music, it's all bubbly.
Barry White's on is like,
I'm always listening to the fast-paced action rock that CJ just described.
I thought it was an awesome piece of tech.
So here's the deal. When it comes to the nerd degree, right, we need to look at several aspects of this. Number one is the product as it sits now actually worth the money and just we're crazy? So does it pass that part?
It would have to be amazing audio. Like, unless the speakers were the most amazing speakers ever, no.
Okay. Brian?
I agree. The sound quality's got to be there. This can't be like that boom box I bought for $12 at a thrift shop. It's got to be legit.
Okay, and then I think as a general concept though, that's kind of where we're going to assess this. That is this going to pass the nerd degree? And we're going to use the same scale that we always use. It's holding up lit lighters during a concert. I would probably give it a 4 lit lighters out of 5.
Really? 4? I give it no lit lighters, and in fact, anyone near me with a lighter, I dump a bucket of water on. Is my standard rule of
that's what you always
measure.
say, right? Is that the lighter thing? But you're saying this has no merit as a concept.
0.
Brian?
Like, no.
Well, being as no one does lit lighters at a concert anymore, I will give
It's all phones.
I will give it
now.
3 lit up phone screens out of 5.
Okay, let's change. Fine, Brian's going to just change the rating criteria.
No, he's right.
He's
People don't
right, but
carry
this is the
lighters
way
anymore.
we've done it every week. I don't understand why he's got to change it now. Okay,
Because some people just want to watch the concert.
so but that's why you need lighters, not your. Unless you have a note, and then you could.
Oh,
make
yeah.
It burn. Oh, I'm sorry. Too
3
soon.
exploding Note 7s.
Too soon on the note.
The Note 8 just released. People are using it like, this phone's great, but I'm going to hold it.
This phone's good. Look at the selfie camera, guys. The selfie
I actually
camera's
never
awesome,
take it off my selfie stick. It always stays out there.
It just stays away.
I've never actually seen it closer than this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brian and Josh, they love movies.
Yes, we do.
And they have an amazing skill and an amazing talent of casting the perfect movie.
Some would say I'm more amazing, but get gypped every week.
Nobody says
So
that.
it is.
I had 3 people say
Two
that.
people you talked to said that shit.
So this week, I am giving the gentlemen a tough task. I am giving them the Thornton Mellon movie, as it's known affectionately among us. I'm giving them the Rodney Dangerfield movie, Back to School, and I'm telling them to cast this.
Thornton Mellon sounds really familiar. Where have I heard that before?
We're going to cast Thornton Mellon, Dr. Diane Turner, Lou, Jason Mellon, Derek Lutz, Philip Barbet, and Professor Turgeson. And I would like to start with Professor Turgeson, who is my favorite character in the movie, played by Sam Kinison. Brian?
I have Meatloaf.
That is not That is not terrible.
Not the food, the person.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No. All right. Good. Okay.
I have Samuel Jackson
Why? Because he says motherfucker a lot?
because he is the resident screamer of current movies. He is the screamer. He's the one that lays it on you more than anybody else.
Yeah, but I feel like Meatloaf can do the same thing and give it like a hard rock flair at the same time.
But Bob has bitch tits.
Movies are allowed to evolve. People
guess.
can have bitch tits now.
No, I know. That's how I see him. CJ, call it.
Oh wow! Just based on that, the fact that we can do, I was actually really intrigued with Meatloaf. So I'm gonna give that one to Brian. So Brian, give us the next person that we are casting.
Let's go with Dr. Diane Turner.
The love interest of the main character.
The love interest of the main character, Thornton Mellon. Sounds like douchebag to me. I cast Téa Leoni.
And we know her from
like Bad Boys, but most recently she's on that Madam Secretary show. She was in Spanglish.
Téa Leoni's been in everything.
She's in a ton of stuff.
Everything. She was in Payback, opposite Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, she was.
I know she was. I love Téa Leoni. She's a really solid pick. I went Leslie Mann.
Oh, from
40-Year-Old Virgin.
This is 40, Knocked Up. Judd Apatow's wife. I got you.
Yep, Judd Apatow's wife, Leslie Mann.
Okay, those are.
It's funny we both went blonde. That's interesting.
We did both go blonde.
Those are both very good picks. So, what makes yours better? Starting with Brian, since you won the last round.
I think Téa Leoni's got the comedy chops, but I also think she can pull off some of the more serious stuff. I know Leslie Mann can do serious too, but not as convincingly as Téa Leoni.
I chose Leslie Mann because she's got the comedy locked down, like way more than Téa Leoni does for sure. But I thought she does a good job of playing a smart character in a funny, unassuming way, and I thought it'd be a nice spin for Dr. Diane Turner.
So she's got to be a bit of an intellectual. So sell me a little bit on the intellectual spot there, Brian.
Well, slap some glasses on Téa Leoni, and she's very intellectual. I also think like this character needs to be a little bit older, right? And I think Leslie Mann.
No, you got me in the
looks
age
too
for
young.
sure. But
Like,
here's the reason. The reason I went with her specifically, her age group, is that the character that played opposite Rodney Dangerfield was 16 years younger than he was at the time they made the movie. So like, I wanted someone younger than I cast for Thornton Mellon.
Okay, no, that all right. But you addressed the age gap there, which I thought was important. Man, you picked good actresses. I'm gonna go with based solely on the argument here and give this round to Josh Burns.
All right, so we are going to go with my favorite character, Lou, who is played by the iconic Burt Young. And I went with, I cannot believe I'm going to say this out loud. My pick was Hugh Jackman.
What?
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman. Here's why, right? The guy wears a tux well, and Lou wore a tux the entire movie. He's a short actor who does a real convincing tough guy, and he can come off as smooth and sweet. Lou was all those things, and the only guy I could think of was Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman's like 6 feet tall, you know.
Yeah, he's actually a relatively.
But he's
tall
not
guy.
as tall as Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay.
All right.
Here's where my cast list goes around the bend, and I start hating it, and Josh will probably hate it too. I chose Kevin James.
You chose Kevin James.
I chose Kevin James because I think he can pull off all of that stuff. In a lot of his roles, you see him in all those many facets, and he definitely can do comedy. And Josh is shaking his head, no.
Can't fight. He can't fight.
I say Lou was also like the enforcer that did the dirty work for Thornton Mellon.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he can't fight.
I get that. But when you hear my pick for Thornton Mellon, you'll understand.
I don't think I will.
No, you won't.
Well, do we need to do
sticking to my guns?
Do we need to do the picks for Thornton Mellon to counter off Lou? Do we need to do that first before we do Lou?
I tell you what. Why don't we do this? Why don't we defer this point, and we'll do Thornton Mellon, and then CJ can award 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I think these two have to work so closely together. So let's
Agreed,
hear
Brian.
Thornton Mellon.
Your pick for Thornton Mellon.
Adam Sandler. Because I am going completely off the wall. I know you're giving me that look.
Oh,
I'm going completely off the reservation with this. I'm viewing this as Billy Madison goes to college, and so I chose Adam Sandler.
I went with Louis C.K.
oh.
So I think he's perfect for the role. I think he does self-deprecating better than anyone. I think he gets no respect better than anyone. I think that if we're going to immortalize Rodney Dangerfield, the only guy to do it today is Louis.
Right, and he thinks he would be the guy that is too cool for school, but then actually learn something about it and kind of grow.
Right.
Damn it! Here's the thing. I love Louis C.K. for Thornton Mellon. That's the right pick. Adam Sandler is all wrong for that. But I like Kevin James more than I like Hugh Jackman for Lou.
But we agreed to add them together.
I agreed.
So figure it out.
I agreed to. That's what I'm saying.
Because
I'm back in the same place of just going. Well, we're two different directions.
Listen. For each of these, add the characters up. We have the love interest. We have.
Here's the thing, because you're so spot on with Louis C.K. I mean, you have to get the points there. You've got Thornton Mellon. You've got the exact.
I'm not gonna lie. I completely overlooked Louis C.K. and
Yeah,
that's a really solid pick.
I'm gonna have to give, as we said, both to them to Josh.
And another loss for Brian.
Well, I don't care. I want to hear the last three. Jason Mellon. The subdued son of
the boy who's stuck in his dad's shadow and can't seem to get out of it. So who do you have for Lou here?
You mean for Jason Mellon?
Who do you have for Jason there, Josh?
I have Ansel Elgort.
We know him from
Baby Driver.
Oh yeah,
Baby. I have Baby.
Yeah. Okay. Role. Also, Kid from Fault in Our Stars and Insurgent.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Not Hunger Games. The Insurgent.
Yep. Okay, Brian.
So, yeah, he's super deadpan. That's why.
Okay.
I had Jay Baruchel.
And we know him from.
Oh, I don't hate that at all.
I actually have Ansel Elgort on here too, but I had Jay Baruchel for
Baruchel is actually
Jason Mellon.
I mean, I'm thinking she's out of my league.
My only problem is that he's so comical and Jason Mellon, but I'm fine with it if I hear your pairing with Derek Lutz.
I had Ansel Elgort as
okay. All right, yeah. So let's put them together. The character, his best friend.
I had Ansel Elgort as Derek Lutz.
You had those backwards.
I don't think so.
No. Think about this. Think about Jay Baruchel from Goon as Derek Lutz.
I am, but I'm also thinking about Jay Baruchel from every other movie he's been in. And I'm
all right.
All right, who did you have for Derek there, Josh?
I have Ansel Elgort for Jason Mellon, and for Derek Lutz, I have Evan Peters.
And we know Evan Peters from.
Well, you've seen him in obviously X-Men. He's Quicksilver.
Oh, okay. So I can actually see why Brian picked him to be Derek, because he can actually he could do both roles. I mean, he's a good enough actor that he can. He could do either or. Especially with the big footsteps that Robert Downey Jr. left in that role.
Yep.
I mean, Josh, I like your pick too. And Evan Peters, I mean, he's got comedic timing. He's got a lot of dry wit, and he just knows how to play that. So I mean, you both got good actors.
So we call both of these a tie, and we move on.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone. I mean, especially since you cast the same actor just in different roles.
Dr. Philip Barbet, who was sort of the antagonist throughout this entire movie. What I wanted was Alan Rickman, but obviously he's dead. So I went with Pete Postlethwaite, who you've seen in Inception, and he was Kobayashi in The Usual Suspects.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what was his name?
He was Fisher's father in Inception, the guy in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
That's Pete Postlethwaite, but in Usual Suspects, he was Kobayashi. He was Kaiser Soze's lawyer.
I do not hate that at all.
Especially he kind of reminds me of the original casting. Go ahead, Brian.
Exactly right.
I again went balls to the wall, went completely off base, and I thought it would be kind of funny if Robert Downey Jr. played this character.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be great, actually.
See, here's the thing. When I thought about this guy, I was looking for a prissy British actor. But everywhere you see prissy British actor, it's played by the original guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Think about the West Wing, CJ.
Mhm.
The curator.
The curator of yep. He does.
So,
he is the epitome of that role.
He's that guy, right? So I went for a guy that I thought could emulate that. But Robert Downey Jr. could easily emulate that.
That's a pretty awesome cast. You know what? It's a stunt casting maneuver, but it works. And I'm going to give you Robert Downey Jr. to that.
Woo!
Okay, so
this one was closer than I expected, yeah.
Okay, this was a lot closer than I expected, but at the end of the day, Josh Burns leads it 3-2. This is another victory for Josh Burns. But guys, you tied on Jason and Derek, man. If you guys would have just had a little less common thinking, it would have been a different game.
Surprisingly, I did pretty well without remembering this movie.
Yeah, you sure did.
We always want to hear your suggestions that for movies that we can recast. So please, if you have anything, email us at castthis@thatkindofnerd.com.
So I think we said something a couple weeks ago about a bunch of giveaways we're doing for our Patreon page. I just got for you Alien fans out there, a Queen Takes Bishop little figurine and loot crate.
Ooh.
And it's the Queen basically spiking Bishop through the sternum there.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a little guy. I'm adding that to the pile, by the way, of stuff we're going to give away to Patreon subscribers.
I have two things to give away. I have a little kind of desk figurine of the Ice King from Adventure Time.
Oh, nice.
On his throne with all the penguins and stuff. Also a glass from Lord of the Rings that has the rings inscription around the glass. It's kind of like a goblet thing. It's very cool. So absolutely.
The kids use that as their toothbrush glass.
That is blasphemy, sir.
That's the glass that's in my
That
bathroom.
is what I drink for my Jameson and ginger from now. But I have an extra one, and I'm happy to give it to some fine lucky few.
So how do you get this fantastic swag? It's very easy, and it comes with your support. Go to patreon.com/thatkindofnerd. If you can't remember that, just go to our show notes. Go right there to support our show. If you do a donation of $10 or more, we will send you this wonderful loot. And all that support goes to help making the show better, help making it run. So thank you so much in advance for your support. The first 10 people to go ahead and give us a subscription to this get some of this amazing loot. So please make sure to sign up so we can go ahead and send it your direction. I want to thank Josh and Brian for being here all together with all three of us this week. It was nice to have a full house. And I want to thank you, yes, you listener, for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. Thank you so much for listening. Patreon.com/thatkindofnerd. We will see you all next week.
Or you're space pirating.
Yeah.
John Hawn,
Walk around the neighborhood, or you're space pirating through the galaxy. John Hawn, space pirate.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd, and Apple versus Android is a case to be heard, and that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you are that kind of nerd.
These are Drake and Future quotes over there from Brian. Unexpected to say
I'm all
the least.
thug now, motherfucker. Go 0 to 100 real quick.
John Hawn, Space Pirate, is the title of this episode.
More shout outs for me. You're welcome, John Hawn.
John Hawn, space pirate.
Why is all the rum gone, CJ? Blah, 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 blah. My name's CJ, and I'm gonna ruin every freaking movie ever. You screw up my system. Where's the peanut butter? Why is the peanut butter in the third cabinet? The peanut butter goes in the first cabinet. Everybody knows that, except this dumbass Deliv guy. Screw this. No. It's a terrible idea.